Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you don't know who I am, it doesn't matter. This is the Google Pixel 6. Let's talk about it. I've been using the Google Pixel 6 for the past month as a daily driver. My SIM is in here. Before this, I was using the Z Flip 3. And before that, I was using the OnePlus 9 5G and then a bunch of other phones like the Notes and whatever. So I've been actively using this phone for the past 30 days and I've got a lot to talk about. Now, before I get into it, do like and subscribe to this video. It really helps out a growing channel like mine. The support that I've had over my first month on YouTube has been absolutely amazing. I appreciate it. Let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is the camera. This is what everyone wants to talk about when it comes to the Pixel 6. And I've got to say, the camera is awesome. I've found myself actively taking my camera out to take pictures, which I have never done before with any of these phones. This phone has actually prompted me to start taking more pictures, which is really cool. Daytime shots are super dynamic. See a lot of color and the highlights are really bright and obvious, and in my opinion, I love that. Here's a shot from the Pixel 6 compared to a shot from the Z Flip 3 and then a shot from the OnePlus 9 5G. The 9 5G is garbage, but comparing the Z Flip 3 and the Pixel 6 photos, daytime photos on the Z Flip 3 are better, but it is $1,000 phone. This one is $600. So even after saying that, they're not bad pictures by any means. The daytime pictures are very crisp, bright, colorful, and the highlights are beautiful. The nighttime images are mind-blowing, and what's even more mind-blowing is how easy it is to take amazing shots. No technical changes, no knob twisting, none of that. Point, focus, click, and boom, the tensor chip does its magic and you're left with an absolutely gorgeous shot. Where it does lack is the front-facing camera. I've used it for a few Zoom calls over the past and it just is quite poor. Honestly, the front camera makes it look like I'm recording from a potato. It works, I get it, you know, it still works, it's usable, but it's just, in camera, it's just so much better than the front camera. The front camera is really a letdown on this phone. Indoor pics in rooms that are not super bright are gonna look pretty bad also, and they're gonna be very noisy as well. But for a $600 phone, I've got to give the camera a solid 7.5 out of 10. For a $600 phone, it is the best camera I have used of any other $600 device, including the OnePlus 9 5G. The Pixel 6 camera just blows the OnePlus out of the water. And honestly, I found myself, like I said, using this camera a lot more, especially at night, because it's just so much fun to just take a picture that looks really dark in real life, take the picture, and it comes out beautiful and amazing on the phone. It's just a ton of fun, and it's kind of magical as well. We have to talk about the camera bump as well. If there has to be a camera bump on the phone, I think the Pixel 6 plays it out perfectly. Unlike the OnePlus 9, which also has a camera bump, it rattles a lot. This one will lay flat on the table. There's no rattling. I love that. What that also means is that I don't need to put a case on the phone. Because the bump is completely flat, when I do put it down on a table, the camera is angled off of the table. And what I found is I don't need a case for this phone. I have a case for the OnePlus 9. I obviously have a case for the Z Flip 3, but I don't need a case for the Pixel 6. That's not the only reason either. For the past 30 days, I haven't even managed to scratch the bezel or the body of the phone. It's made of like Victus Gorilla Glass and it still looks gorgeous. It still looks absolutely cream. Obviously, it is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, but it looks super cream. The camera, there's not a single scratch on the actual glass that covers the camera, and on the screen there are a few like nicks that are really hard to see. Nothing a simple screen protector wouldn't solve. Putting a case on it, I don't recommend it. It looks gorgeous. Why ruin the look? And you don't need a case on the phone. Over the past 30 days, it's been in my cup holder, it's been in my pockets, all over the place, and not a single scratch on the device. So it's a solidly built device. Speaking of which, fam, it's a very, very thick phone. We're talking a big booty. From someone coming from the Z Flip 3, at times it did feel like I was carrying a brick around. It's not only thick and bulky, it's also quite heavy also. So, you know, there's give and takes. You're getting a very comfortable grip, but it comes at a cost of the phone is thicker and also quite heavy. So for looks, I'm giving it a solid 7.5 out of 10. It solves the rattle problem in complete style. It looks good compared to other slab phones. Plus, there's no need for a case just because of how easy it is to grip, how durable the material is, and the points are taken off obviously because it is quite heavy and thick. A few people have come up to me and been like, hey, is that the new Pixel 6? And you know, it's cool, and obviously not as much as I get for the Z Flip 3, so it does kind of wear down when it comes to the Pixel 6 compared to the Z Flip 3. Now, talking about the battery, I did expect the phone to have a big battery because of how fat this thing is, but honestly it doesn't perform as good. OnePlus 9 5G, this phone is pretty thick also, but I can take this and use it for 2 days, sometimes even 3 days without recharging the phone. It is a top battery. On this one, I'm getting 1 solid day of use, but no more than that. So for the Pixel 6, you're gonna get a solid day of use with no problems, but I have never been able to get 2 days of use without having to recharge the phone. For the battery, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. It's average or better than average. It's going to be perfectly fine for most people, and so I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Now let's talk about gaming, and I know that this is not a gaming phone, but I still wanted to test out whether it was possible. It doesn't have the 120 Hz refresh rate, and it doesn't have the flagship processors that some other phones have, and quite honestly, it's also uncomfortable to hold during gaming. Because of this bump, when I'm playing games like this, I will find my finger digs into the back because when I'm gaming, I'm holding the phone tighter than I usually would, and that causes my finger to really sink into the camera bump. That being said, gaming is also impossible. The graphics are very mediocre. The refresh rate is kind of pretty bad, and when you're gaming, it goes even lower at times, so it's almost like laggy when you're playing any demanding game like Genshin Impact. Not only that, the phone, if you are gaming, the phone does get hot. I'm talking proper hot, okay? So gaming is impossible, but I'm not gonna rate it because it's not really a gaming phone. Unless you're playing chess though, I wouldn't recommend gaming on this. Videos, the screen is absolutely gorgeous to look at. The speakers are also situated on both ends, so you're getting clear, loud, and crisp noise every time. Watching YouTube and other channels has been a pleasure. I haven't had any issues. The one thing I will say is that if you're planning to use this for video watching for longer periods of viewing, the camera bump sinking into your finger could be a problem. Now, when I watch YouTube, I'm not holding the phone as tightly as I am when I'm gaming, so it hasn't really been a problem for me, but the longest I've watched something is probably like 25-30 minutes. I don't go over that in one sitting. If you expect to do that, then it might be better off just buying a case so this camera bump is level with the back and it doesn't get uncomfortable when you're holding it like this. For video watching, I'm giving it a proper 7 out of 10. It's good, easy to hold, it doesn't heat up when you're doing longer periods. The screen and the resolution looks beautifully perfect. Perhaps the last thing that I want to talk about that no one else is talking about and I feel is really underrated is Android 12's really good. I think hands down it's the best version of Android on any available smartphone today. It feels, and let me apologize for saying this guys, it feels like the Apple version of Android. It's super responsive, the animations are super fresh, it's really clean and easy. The most important information is presented to you in a very pleasuring way. It's just so nice to use. Everything feels like it's all part of one theme and you don't need to go and download custom themes and apps or anything like that. It's all baked into the phone. Hands down, now it's hard to kind of explain, but hands down, this is my favorite version of Android and it really stuck out to me. I've been using Android phones before, but Android 12 on the Pixel 6 I'm gonna miss it. I'm actually properly going to miss using this Android 12. So for the OS on this Pixel 6, I've got to give it a solid 10 out of 10. It has been one of the best OS experiences. Just opening this phone, using the phone day to day, it's just been a pleasure to use. Everything under my theme, unified and very easy to look at. I mean, this should have happened before. I don't know how long Android's been around, but this is just a pleasurable experience with the Android 12. Having said all of that, I'm giving this phone an average rating of 7.8 out of 10. For a phone that's $599, there's a lot of amazing features that you're not gonna find on any other device in this price range. However, it does come with a few pitfalls. Being a Z Flip 3 user, however, I will be going back to my Flip 3, and the main reasons are because of the portability. First of all, once you get used to something this tiny, it's hard to go back. I'm also gaming a lot more on my phone, so I do want the faster processor that I get in the Z Flip 3. But I think, in all honesty, this is hands down the best Pixel device up to date, and the best user experience, which I can't wait until the Android 12 is released on my Z Flip 3, because that's just gonna change everything. But also the Pixel 6, when it comes to these mid-tier phones, these $599 phones, compared to other ones like the OnePlus 9, I think that the Pixel 6 is the best phone that you can buy that's mid-tier. It's better than the OnePlus. You know, there's some things that the OnePlus does better, like battery life, but in most usability cases, it's the OnePlus 9 that always wins out. And plus, the nighttime photos are always magical. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this 30 days later review, please do like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps out a growing channel like mine. Comment down below what you think about the Pixel 6, and if you're considering buying it, did this video help? And what colors are you looking for? I went for the gray and the light gray dual tone. I really like this color. Obviously, you know, I like my dark colors, so, you know, this kind of fit the bill. But in terms of look, when the phone is completely folded out, in terms of look, the Z Flip 3 is beautiful. It doesn't have this, like, you know, garbage. I'm joking, but I do love the look of the Z Flip 3. It looks very professional, very demanding, like a proper phone, like a proper device. So the Pixel, did I call this the Z Flip 3? Well, whoops. The Pixel 6, one of the most gorgeous looking phones, I think, and I've just been having a blast using it. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Take it easy. Peace. No, I do like this.